yesterday. My stomach just feels so twisted. It's been like this for like a week.
What's going on? That's like the fourth time you've been in the bathroom today.
I don't know. I mean, I thought relaxing and just hanging out and drink a lot of water would help. I mean, you watch football and sitting on the couch, but it's really painful. But what do I do? I don't know.
And maybe you should go see a specialist about your stomach issues.
Oh, I don't think I need to go see anybody. I mean, that might be a little over the limit. Oh, just kidding. Okay. I don't know what to do.
Alright, I just Googled some specialists in Jackson. I think we should go.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, let's go.
Bad idea.
Thanks.
Hi, I called a little while ago. I scheduled an appointment with Dr. P.
Coley, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have you sign in on the sheet of paper right here, and then I'll give you these forms to fill out, and then if you can hand them back to me when you're done, we will get you in to see Dr. P as soon as possible.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you. Yup, having a little bit of abdominal pain, definitely stomach aches. You know, I guess a kind of little bit of belching. You know, no real headaches or anything. Yeah, I guess a little bit of this. Ooh, diarrhea. Yeah, in the bathroom way too much. You know, no real weight loss. I mean, I've been having a little trouble gaining weight. No itching, no heartburn. Yeah, I guess a little bit. Yeah, no, I guess not. These are done with.
Thank you. I will get these to Dr. P shortly.
Coley, Crowley, Dr. P will see you now.
What an office. Great timing.
Foley? Hi, GI specialist Dr. P.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Don't mind my attire, it's a casual Friday. So can you tell me what brings you in today?
Yeah, I've had some really bad stomach aches, and I've been in the bathroom a lot lately.
Okay. It says here you've had some abdominal pain and experiencing some diarrhea at least twice a day.
Yeah, it's been pretty bad lately, and I mean, it only seems to keep getting worse. I've never had something like this before. It just kind of popped up. My friends have been joking around saying something along the lines of irritable bowel syndrome, something like that.
Yeah, well, we're not going to rule anything out at this point. Our number one priority is just getting you better, figuring out what the problem is. Your symptoms, they are common symptoms of IBS, but they could also be an infection, something along the lines of maybe even celiac disease, which is often overlooked by most doctors. But we're going to get it figured out.
Yeah, this actually reminds me of the conference about celiac disease a couple years ago.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm a researcher for celiac disease, so I'm here to talk to you a little bit about that. So we all love our bread, our pastas, all that kind of things. Those are glutens. Now, someone with celiac disease should avoid those because celiac disease is damage or inflammation to the small intestine. Now, it's very similar to IBS, IBD, and even depression. So it's very important that we go over the disease and all the symptoms so that we avoid misdiagnosis. Now, gluten contains peptides, and when someone who is predisposed to celiac disease has any of these peptides, they'll get active celiac disease. So, as I said, on chromosome 6 is where the disease manifests, and it affects the HLA-DQ 1 through 9 antigen receptors. Now, with this, the peptide fragment can bind to these and then create this immune response because it is an autoimmune disease. So this is an overview of, if someone consumes gluten with celiac disease. So they consume gluten, and these peptides are resistant to digestion. Celiac disease consumes gluten. They can't digest it. So these peptides are resistant to digestion, and they can't be digested through the enterocytes, which are absorbing layers of epithelial cells. So between each cell there's tight junctions, and that's where these resistant digestion peptides sneak through. And this ends up decreasing the intestinal permeability, which is bad. Now, they go through and they find themselves on the antigen presenting cell, which we talked about earlier with the HLA DQ1 through 9 receptors. This causes an immune response. So a helper T cell shows up. Now, this cell creates an immune reaction, which causes inflammation, and this inflammation damages the small intestine. So here's a normal small intestine versus a celiac disease small intestine, which has been damaged because too many resistant peptides have passed through, and there's been an immune response. As you can see, the villi on the damaged small intestine are just inflamed and therefore can absorb less. So that's not good. Now, celiac disease has a lot of associated diseases alongside. There's a large prevalence of type 1 diabetes, of varying collagen diseases, as thyroid diseases, alongside many others. So it's best that someone with celiac disease avoids gluten altogether. So now that we have a better understanding of celiac disease, how it's found, and what it does in the body, it's good to know the importance of blood screening for the disease. Now these are the texts, as Paige just mentioned to you guys. And it makes sense because, like we talked about earlier with the HLA, DQ1 through 9, you can test for it, which is great. So it's important to avoid misdiagnosis and to test early, because there have been studies that show when someone's tested for celiac disease and have the disease at 20 years of age or older, there's a 20% prevalence of those associated diseases, which I spoke about earlier. Whereas if a child of 2 years of age or younger is tested for the celiac disease and has it, there's only a 5% prevalence of associated diseases. So it's very important to test early, test often, because there's a huge correlation with associated diseases and untreated celiac disease. So thank you for listening.
Alright, yeah, this definitely makes sense. He has celiac.
So after carefully examining your symptoms, I personally believe that you have celiac disease, but I just want to run a couple tests to confirm my suspicions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an endoscopic pill, which you can take pictures at 1,000 frames per second. Yeah, and it's going to pretty much examine your digestive tract, and it's going to give us a better idea of what's going on inside. Does that sound good? All right, sweet. All right, Coley, results are in. I don't want to freak out or anything, but you do have celiac disease. Now, there's no need to worry. This isn't life-threatening or anything like that.
Okay, good.
All you're going to have to do is change your diet. And it's going to consist of a gluten-free diet, and then here I have some pamphlets to give you, which is going to help you better understand the disease itself. Now, I kind of want to help you understand the anatomy side of it, what's going on inside, and I'm going to take you to my office. But before doing so, do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, why is it happening at such a young age? I thought it was like an old people kind of thing.
No, actually, like, there's no prevention for the disease itself. It can happen at any age. It could be endormant, and like, which really means like it could come at when you're 12 years old, or it could come when you're 38 years old.
All right.
And that's why this disease is so hard and always misdiagnosed.
Okay.
You know, it's complicated, and but my main priority is to get you to understand the disease.
Okay.
So just follow me, and we'll take a seat. I prepared a slide for you. So this is just really the anatomy of your body here. We're focused on your small intestine, and within your small intestine, it's lined with this microvilli, it's called, which in a normal person increases the surface area of the small intestine and allows them to absorb nutrients and stuff like that. But within you, your microvilli looks like this, and your intestine is pretty hollow. Now, what's happening to you is when you're eating stuff like gluten, you're eating wheat, barley, rye, stuff like that. What's happening is your immune system is attacking these proteins and basically attacking itself, destroying that microvilli. Now, when I put you on this diet, you're going to notice a instant relief. And you might think this is destroyed and it's not going to come back, but don't worry. As soon as you get on this, this is going to grow back within days, maybe weeks, and you're going to feel great. And I'm telling you what, we give you this pamphlet here. It's not. It might be hard for you, you know, but it's not impossible. You're just going to have to look at foods more carefully. You're gonna have to see a lot of foods nowadays will have it, they'll say gluten-free and stuff like that, or no gluten. And you know, if this was 9 years ago, it'd probably been a lot harder to find stuff like that.
Okay.
But nowadays it's becoming more common. So like they even have bread now, and it literally says no gluten. And
Okay.
yeah, so I mean, it might be hard to find, and another thing, it could be a little pricey. I mean, that's the market nowadays, it's supply and demand. But all in all, if you follow this day to day, change your regimen,
Alright.
you're gonna be good, man. I promise you.
Alright.
That sound good?
Alright, thank you. Gotta get some bread. We need some bread.
Yeah, bread's on our list. We're running low. Oh, look, this kind's my favorite.
Yeah, but on the
Whole grain
pamphlet,
is probably really healthy.
on the pamphlet, you gotta look. It says certain kind of bread. The doc says you gotta look for the label that says no gluten. See, you gotta just read the label. It has partial gluten.
Yeah, it contains wheat. Not gluten free. Alright, we'll have to look for some gluten free bread. I don't see any at this store.
Probably gonna be very tough. Probably have to go to the store.
Let's get some other things on our list while we're here.
Oh, we got some candy. Oh, we got some Snickers, my favorite.
I think I read on the handout that some candies can contain gluten.
We probably should just look for that no gluten label, shouldn't we? I don't see it. Here we go. Reese's. See the label? Gluten free.
Awesome, let's put it in the cart. Oh my gosh, we've been here for hours looking for gluten free food.
Oh, we're gonna find something. We have to. Oh, we got some mac and cheese.
Oh, I love mac and cheese.
All right, we got low fat. Hey, gluten free. Here we go.
Oh my gosh, you see that price tag though?
$4.39 to $1.99. I mean, we're gonna have to change our lifestyle. It's gonna be pretty tough, but we're gonna have to do it.
Hello. We just want to thank you to whoever watched this video. Now, as you may know, it was just an informative video on celiac disease.
This video is for educational purposes only, and no one in the video actually suffers from celiac disease.
Now, we will conclude this video with the following interview done by a staff member on campus who does have celiac
We have Carol Moss, the great Carol Moss from the Kinesiology and Athletic Training Department of Albion College, who was diagnosed with celiac disease how many years ago?
I think it was 07.
Okay, and how did you come about and learn that you were diagnosed with celiac disease?
It started off a few years before that. I had stomach aches all the time, a lot of bloating, gassy feeling, just never felt great, but I figured I had an ulcer, didn't know much about it. Took some Pepto-Bismol, some Pepsid, whatever, when I felt really bad. And then it started to get more and more frequent till it was pretty much daily. I went to a gastroenterologist for the stomach aches. Finally, I was referred there from my family practice doc, and he wanted to do a colonoscopy and an upper GI. So look at my digestive system from both ends and see if I was bleeding or anything was going on. And then at the time, they also did a biopsy of the small intestine and a blood work. So anyway, when all of the results came back a week later, he called me in the office and told me that I was full-blown
You were eating with
celiac.
your family at dinner time or going out
Yeah.
to eat with your family. How would that affect or change your life?
At home, it's easy. I do most of the grocery shopping, or we go together. So Meyer now has a gluten-free section, so does Family Fare. At the time, 9 years ago, it was a lot harder. I never ate any processed food.
A lot of research.
Yeah, no processed food ever. No mac and cheese, no boxed whatever, no bread off the shelf, nothing like that. So I think how it affects me is, one, it's expensive, and two, I do the meal planning at home, so everything we cook at home is gluten-free. And it doesn't affect anybody. You wouldn't even know if you came to my house that you were eating gluten-free. I can make gluten-free lasagna now and anything. If we go out, I have to tell the waitress every time I go out, I have a gluten allergy. What are your
So what
options?
happens now if you eat gluten? What will happen to you?
12 hours later, you really want to know this?
Yes, we do.
12 hours later, my stomach will be super upset within 10 to 12 hours. So that must just be my metabolism time. I'll start to get the stomach, I'll know it's coming. 10 hours, it starts rumbling. 12 hours, I'm in full-blown stomach ache, and within the next hour, I'll be on the toilet.
For a while.
For about 2 to 3 hours. and then I'll just be up and down for 2 to 3 hours, and then after it's gone, I'm fine again. But it's serious,
It's a gluten-free diet.
serious diarrhea.